Hello my dear friends, welcome back to my channel Languages with Core, and in this video I'm going to talk about the most important tense in English grammar and in IELTS test. Usually students ask in English language class to the trainer that on which tense they should focus more, or which one is the most important tense out of all the tenses of English grammar. So as you know that there are total 12 tenses in English grammar, and if I talk about the main tense, present tense, it has four categories: simple present tense, continuous, perfect, and perfect continuous tense. Simple present tense is also called present indefinite tense. In the same way, there are four categories for each: past and future, and same category names are there. And besides this, students also need to learn about passive form of all these tenses. So my dear friends, let me tell you, 80% of daily conversations in English happen in the following tenses. Those are simple present tense, simple past tense, and present perfect tense. So you can understand the importance according to the sequence. And 10% of the conversations happen in present continuous tense, simple future tense, and past perfect tense. So these tenses are the second most important in English grammar. And if we see 5% of the conversation, these are the approximate percentages. 5% of the conversations happen in past continuous tense, present perfect continuous tense, and sometimes we also use passive forms of all simple tenses: present, past, and future. So by this ratio you can understand the importance of tenses in English grammar, and you can get an idea on which tense you need to focus more. Now let's talk about the tenses which are rarely used in English conversations on daily basis or in English writing. Those are future continuous, future perfect, past perfect continuous, and future perfect continuous tense. If I talk about IELTS speaking, you need to practice more about the use of simple present tense, simple past tense, present perfect tense, and simple future tense, including all the passive forms plus including the negation. Now let's talk about IELTS writing. As you all know that there are two tasks to be attempted in IELTS writing. In academic IELTS writing, graph writing and essay writing is there. In graph writing, if you are going to explain any process, method, or life cycle, you should have complete knowledge of the usage of present indefinite tense. You should have proper knowledge of the rule, of the usage, because we are going to explain these things in present indefinite tense. And 80% of the times you can see that graphs or the data is given for the past. So simply we use past tense, and that is also simple past tense by using its both active and passive forms. And sometimes future predictions are also given in the graph. Future years are given or future predictions are there. So we simply use simple future tense with its passive form sometimes. And if I talk about essay writing, 50% of the times in essays, sentences are constructed using simple present tense. 30% of the sentences are formed using present perfect tense, and 20% of the sentences are made using past or future tenses. So again here you can see the most frequently used tense is simple present tense. And if years are not given in graph or question is in present tense, we use simply present tense. As you can see the ratio, for 80% of the times we make sentences in past tense because past years are given in graphs, and very rarely graph is given For the current time or years are not given and the present verb is there in the question, so we simply form our sentences using present simple present tense or present indefinite tense. Let's talk about essay writing. When we write any introduction, we can start with simple present tense or we can start with its passive form, like we can say it is an accepted fact, it is commonly seen, in that way. And when we write any background statement, we mostly use present perfect tense. So what is the rule of present perfect tense? We use subject plus has or have plus third form of the verb. If in the question statement any present scenario is presented, we just simply use simple present tense or present perfect tense. For example, if the question statement is saying that nowadays youngsters do not participate in any kind of physical activity. So question is in present indefinite tense, so we would be answering by forming maximum sentences in simple present tense. We can also make use of present perfect tense. However, when we are making comparison of past and present, for past we can also use past indefinite tense or we can use auxiliary verbs such as would or used to. And if we want to write something for future or future trends, we simply use simple future tense by using its both forms, active or passive. So my dear friends, this video ends with a conclusion that first of all, we should have proper understanding of present indefinite tense of English grammar, and that is the most important tense to be learned for having good communication skills in English, for having good writing skills in English, and for the preparation of IELTS exam. So let's have a look of this tense. Basically, this tense is used for the actions being performed in present time, actions being done in present time. When we talk about habits, likings, desires, present activities or current trends or patterns, methods or processes, we mostly use present indefinite tense. So let's learn the rule of present indefinite tense or simple present tense. Subject is there plus first form of verb is there to show the action plus object is there and rest of the things. With the form of the verb we add s or es if we are talking about any third person and who is singular. If we are talking about any plural subject, we don't add any s or es with the form of the verb. Now you can see the example. If I talk about myself, I would say I like tea. Like is the form of the verb. If I have to say he, I'd say he likes tea because he is a third person and singular. So I have added s here with the form of the verb. If I say we, I would say we like tea. Now you can see we is the second person and in the plural form, so I'm not adding any s or es here. People like tea. Now people are in plural form. My friend likes tea. My friend is the third person and singular, so s is added here. And my parents like tea. Parents are again in plural form, so s is not added here. So my dear friends, practice more and more present indefinite tense to do good in IELTS exam as well as to be proficient in English language, to make effective conversations and to write effectively. However, you should not underestimate the importance of rest of the tenses in English grammar, but you should give priority to learn these most important tenses. Those are simple present tense, simple past tense and present perfect tense. So my dear friends, this video ends here and I hope this has helped you a lot to understand which tense is the most important in English grammar to learn. Thank you for watching.